What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video, as you can see, I'm finally going to be doing a Ride Sims 2.0 kind of let's play video on this channel. Now, I know quite a few of you have actually been suggesting this over the last couple of videos, and yeah, here I am finally on Ride Sims. Now, for those of you that don't actually know what Ride Sims is, it's pretty much a free kind of simulator ride for loads of different theme park attractions. What you do is you basically go in, it's got it all laid out on the map, and you pretty much just operate the rides, and it's really close to the real thing. I know quite a few of the people that actually work on this game are in the industry, so it's really cool to see something like this actually be made, especially as it is free. As you can see, I don't really have that many hours on this game. I've only got about 4 hours, and that may sound like a lot, but when you compare it to some of my other games that I play, like especially on my Xbox, even Planet Coaster, they're well over about 100 hours, so I haven't really got too much experience with this game so far. I have played a couple of simulations. However, the one we're going to be playing today is the Smiler. Of course, this is the most recent Merlin attraction to be added onto this site. Obviously, you do have loads of other attractions across the UK and the world. Obviously, we've got Valhalla from Blackpool Pleasure Beach, Tower of Terror from Disney. You've got loads and loads of different stuff. So yeah, like I said, this is a completely free game. It is very cool to see that people within the theme park community have created this. So let's go ahead get into the Smiler then. Just got to quickly activate something there. There we go. Obviously, this is a game that is very much, you know, voluntary. There isn't any big company behind it that obviously pay them to do this. This is their own thing. As you can see here, they do have a Patreon. That's kind of lucky. So if you do want to support the game and you do want to help them kind of thrive and make more content, definitely support them on Ride Sims. There you go. When you first enter the sim on the game, it will show you a little link that you can click to go and support them on Patreon. So here we go then. First of all, we get the manual that comes up. Now, I have played it like quite a bit, so I do generally know the kind of gist of the game. But obviously, we've got the show lights here. We can turn them on and off. Obviously, they change it on the actual giggler there. We've got breakdowns can go on and off. And obviously the sounds as well. We're going to be playing on breakdowns on because, yeah, I think I'm good at the game. So yeah, as you can see, this is the layout that we have. On some of the kind of layouts that you have on this site, you can zoom into the station, but with the Smiler, it's quite a compact ride, so I don't really think you need to zoom in, so they obviously didn't add it in. Obviously, you can see down here, we obviously have 2 of our trains that are already in the station, and we also got some in the holding bays as well. Obviously, you can add them through, which is really cool. Okay then, so obviously because it is the start of the day, obviously first of all we need to power on the coaster. Like I said, it's very realistic in the sense that you pretty much have to do a lot of the stuff that would usually be done by multiple people. Obviously we've got to reset the e-stop over here, which is another thing that obviously is occurring within coasters. Obviously the e-stop pretty much will stop the ride wherever it is on the track, and obviously that is kind of linked in with the blocks. So if we go and hit maintenance mode, obviously because we're not opening the ride yet, we have all the blocks here. Obviously if I click show blocks, that's all the blocks. They're deactivated at the moment, so they're going to be a bit red. But pretty much what the block sections are is if the train is ever kind of in a bit of a state and it's kind of gone wrong a little bit, obviously you can obviously activate the e-stop, and what it will do is stop the train on one of these breaks or these block sections to allow it to be safe and that no other cars would pass through there. So obviously, like I said, because it's the start of the day, obviously we have got no people on the actual attraction so far, so what we can do is we can just go ahead and activate, and as you can see, it's going out of the station and it's going to head round the layout. Like I said, at the moment there's only 2 trains here, but once we start opening the ride, I will add a little bit more. Same with this, I'm pretty sure we already have the restraints locked down. We just have to wait for the dispatch lights. Obviously that will take a bit of time because obviously we can see the car down there kind of doing the little kind of pre-bit to the actual coaster. Obviously because this is such a long ride, and it's probably the longest ride, or one of the longest roller coasters in the UK, obviously, you know, there's going to be multiple trains and loads of trains we can put on here, and I'm going to try and get obviously all of them on here throughout the video. So obviously here we go, we can dispatch the next one now that one's kind of on its way up the lift hill. Sometimes you can actually get them synchronized, obviously in real life with the Smiler. Sometimes they are synchronized, the 2 cars between the 2 sections of the ride. You can kind of do that in this game, so we'll try and aim to do that a little bit later on. But as you can see, there's kind of a little bit of a gap period here. So what we can do is we can actually add a train in. So we just take one in from the park, bit at the moment. As you can see, the track is switching up there, ready to take the car into the station. And then obviously we've got 2 other ones there, but for the moment we'll stick with 3 until we actually open the attraction, which will be in just a second. Okay, so we've encountered our first problem. Obviously, as you can see, we have got a little bit of a malfunction within the blocks. I've e-stopped the ride, so obviously all of the different blocks are actually kind of in motion, so you can see that a train stop there, and the train is obviously in the station. We've got 3 in total. So all we got to do really, I don't think there's any problems that we need to call with the mechanic, so that is very much good news. But what we got to do is pretty much just reset the brakes, which shouldn't really be too hard, I hope. So let's restart the reset again, so that we're able to activate the maintenance, and there we go. We can switch on all of the different things as normal, so we can switch that on. I don't know why that's not working. I think we might have a little bit of a problem there. Let me try and sort that out. This is not good. This is not going off on the right track. No pun intended. There we go. Right, we've got the lift working. That was a little bit of a panic mode for me there. Obviously, we can now launch our next one, and fingers crossed nothing bad will happen again. Yeah, I can't guarantee it, but this is not really off to a good start. Okay then, so now we've kind of been testing the ride for a little bit. I think now's the time to actually open the attraction. So as you can see, I've opened it here. We've already got some people in the main queue line. So because of that, we'll add in another train. Obviously, this is something that will help, you know, throughput and capacity levels, and I almost forgot, and I always do this, to turn it into kind of normal mode, like normal operating mode, so that it allows us to actually open the air gates and actually do something with the ride, because that is a mistake I've made so many times on this game. It is actually mind-numbing. So obviously we've got another kind of car on the brake run here, so we've got a nice 4 trains going here. Isn't really too bad. So hopefully this will go pretty smoothly. So obviously, first of all, oh god, that's not good. Straight away, I'm pretty sure all we've got to do to fix this is once again actually go into the blocks, I'm hoping, and it should, yeah, there we go, work again. That is a little bit of a problem that I've actually experienced on this Smiler on Ride Sims. It does generally like to stop on that brake, on that lift hill section in particular, which is a bit annoying, but it's fairly easy to fix. So now the restraints are up, I'm fairly sure we are able to now open the air gates. No, we can't, because we're in maintenance mode. Like I said, I'm not very good at this. So yeah, we'll open the air gates, we'll let the people into the attraction. We've got to wait for obviously the people to be unloaded onto the carriage, and then we can shut the gates and lock the restraints down. So we're just going to have to wait for a little bit here. It shouldn't really take too long. There we go. We close the gates, lock the restraints, and then wait for the dispatch. And then pretty much what we got to do is just keep on doing that over and over and over again until obviously we get a nice throughput. We got a score on the upper right hand corner here. You can submit, you can be on the leaderboard and stuff. That is something that is incorporated within the game. So we just got to wait a little bit now for the actual dispatch. There we go. Don't know why I said dispatch like that. Dispatch, I sound really posh. Okay, so moving in, I think we'll stick with 4 trains until we get proper throughput going here, because at the moment it's a little bit kind of delayed. We've got a couple of trains on the brake run, but generally on the Smiler you do kind of get that build up of like trains on the brake run, so it's not really too tailored to what the Smiler is actually like. Obviously, like I said, it is very, very close to how these rides are operated. This game is actually made by people that have been in the operation business before. So yeah, it's really, really cool to see something like this actually be put into lights. Now, like I said, you can play with breakdowns on, but it's not really something that I like to do. I feel like it's a little bit more real if you actually have breakdowns going on, because it feels more like an actual ride and how people manage an actual ride. So yeah, waiting for the restraints again. Dispatch here. Like I said, it's pretty repetitive, but it does get very, very intense as you start to obviously do some different things. Obviously, up in the top left-hand corner there, you can see how many people we have in the single rider queue and how many people we have in the main queue. And pretty much what you've got to do is, by using the number keys, it's just filtering people through into the attraction and into the main queue. So like I said, it can get very, very kind of tedious and confusing when you've got to pay attention to all this different stuff all at once, especially on Wicker Man, because Wicker Man's actually quite a hard one to operate. Obviously, all of these attractions do have difficulty levels. This and Wicker Man are easy levels, but with Wicker Man it's a little bit harder than this, because you obviously do have the pre-show and all that to manage as well. So I'm kind of lucky that I'm not having to deal with that. Oh, we've got another block error here. We just switch that to maintenance mode and do the same thing we did. Like I said, this is not going too well, but I'm getting there. It's kind of smooth. It's not too bad. So yeah, I'm pretty sure close the gates. and we'll be ready to lock the restraints again. So as you can see, my score is going up. Currently, the top holder for the score is Jordan with 756,000 points. Obviously, I'm only on 4,000 at the moment. I think the most points I've ever gotten on an attraction in Ride Sims is about 50,000, I think, and that was on Wicker Man. So yeah, you know, not particularly experienced with this particular attraction, but I will do my best. And on the subject of points and stuff like that, I do have a little bit of a video idea for you guys that I actually really did want to incorporate into the channel, wanted to do, but didn't exactly know how. It was to do with Ride Sims, and it was kind of operating a Ride Sims attraction all day. Obviously, you know, from 10 AM to 4 PM roughly, obviously is the rough hours for someone who actually operates rides. So I kind of thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool to actually reenact that within Ride Sims? The only problem I kind of had was thinking whether or not it would actually be interesting, because obviously if I'm just sitting there kind of just talking every hour and doing updates, it may not be that interesting. But if it is something that you guys are interested in, 100% let me know, because it's something I'm interested in doing as well. And if you have any suggestions on how to keep it kind of a little more exciting, then those will go on board too. So with all that said, obviously we'll carry on with our Ride Sims going. So obviously we've got a decent throughput here. Like I said, we will add in another train in just a second. Just let this kind of warm up and just kind of get into the flow. And it lets people in through the single riders. You really have to keep an eye on the peeps, because they are something that does build up fairly quickly. I've seen that happen on Wicker Man quite a bit, where you can get a load of people pile up in the fast track queue. So we don't want that happening on this. So we'll do this and that. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a build up here in our actual queue line, because yeah, like I said, I'm not exactly great at throughput in this game. We're just going to carry on going. I'm going to end the video in just a second, because I don't really want to bore you guys just doing the same thing. But like I did say just a minute ago, if you do want to see more content like this, definitely let me know, because it is something I'm up for doing. So yeah, we've got a lot of build up in the main queue and the singles queue, so we're going to try and eliminate that just now. So get as many people onto the attraction as physically possible. Just waiting for the gates to occur there. See how long that's going to take. It does look like it's actually starting to rain here, so you may actually hear some pitter-patter of the rain on top of my roof, because it is plastic. So yeah, it's going to be a bit loud, but hopefully I'll get the video done before that actually happens. Yeah, so we just got to keep adding people there. I've just entered some people through the singles into the thing. Obviously, it does take a little bit of time to wait for the train to dispatch, which is probably one of the main problems I have with this, but it takes time. Like, generally, in real life, it does take quite a bit of time to dispatch certain things, so it's very realistic in that front. You just got to be really quick and on it, like much of the operators do in real life. Obviously, there are loads of different sims that they still haven't added to the game, which could be really cool. Like I said, they haven't really added any Thorpe Park ones on here. I don't think there are any, actually. So it would be really cool to see them add things like the Swarm. I know in the first Ride Sims games they did have the Swarm and a couple of other Thorpe Park attractions. Some people suggested potentially having the Ghost Train as one of them. Could be really cool. Like I said, they don't just do coasters, there are flat rides, dark rides and things on here as well. So there's a lot of potential for this game. Like I said, it's even more of a reason to go ahead and support them on Patreon. It's definitely one of those things. Oh, we've got another error, and looks like we need to call the mechanic this time. By the looks of things, maybe not. We'll try doing our little method of just switching it back on again. There we go. I'm sure they won't do that in real life. I'm sure that it's pretty dangerous to just do that in real life. Right, so we'll close down the restraints, we'll send a couple more trains off, and I'll finish off the video. Like I said, I didn't really know how to do this. Generally, I just kind of, you know, didn't really know what to talk about. I kind of went to act it like a tutorial a little bit for those of you that don't actually know what Ride Sims is. But like I said, if there are anything you guys want to see out of this, definitely let me know. So just we got a bit of a problem with the restraints. I'm not exactly sure how you fix that. I just generally just spam the buttons because I'm very experienced at this game. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait for that to fix itself, because it does generally just go away. There we go. Send the train out. The one thing that I do actually kind of get a little bit confused about, I don't know if you guys can hear it, when you actually dispatch the train, the laughing sound, obviously, that Smiler does have, its signature thing, does actually sound pretty loud. Not pretty loud, I mean pretty fast. I don't know whether that's just to ensure that, you know, it just keeps in time with the car going round, but I just find it a little bit weird. So we've managed to gain about 10,000 points here, which actually really isn't that bad. Obviously, nothing on Jordan's 756,000, but it's definitely a step forward. So yeah, we got the gates again, waiting for them. Nice. Close them. Get the restraints down. It does look like, oh, we've got another error again. I'm telling you, there is something wrong with this attraction. I'm telling you, there's something that's been a little bit iffy here. I don't know whether I'm missing something or not, but either that or I'm just really bad at the game. It does actually look like we've got a proper mechanical problem here. So we have to call the mech, obviously call the mechanic, and they'll come and tell us what we have to do to fix the ride. So for the moment, I'll keep it on maintenance, see what we actually do. Looks like lift hill needs to be restarted, reactivate lift to return to normal operation. So all we have to do to really do that is obviously pretty much do the thing that we've been doing for the last like 10 minutes. So there we go. It's very, very cool how they incorporate the mechanic into that. I think that is a really cool thing. Like I said, it is literally like operating an actual theme park attraction. I think it's really, really cool. So obviously we're heading into the territory now where we're getting a nice good throughput. You know, like I said, this for a game that is free, this is very, very good, detailed and fun. And if you guys do want to play it, like I said, it's very much free. All you have to do is sign up. Doesn't take anything, you know, stressful. It's literally just signing up for it, and you can play with these sims. It's really, really, really cool. So yeah, I'm going to finish off the video here, I think, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Like I said, if you do want to see more Ride Sims content, definitely let me know, because it is something I have been considering in the past. Oh, there we go. Breaks down again. So yeah, with all that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.